You boys look like a weird heavy metal band.
Yes, we are a band.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you play?
Symphonic post-apocalyptic reindeer-grinding, Christ-abusing, extreme war pagan Fennoscandic metal.
Right. Really interesting.
What's up, everyone? DJ Nubis here with you with another movie review. This time I'm doing 2026's The Forbidden City, directed by Gabriele Manetti and stars Enrico Borello, Yaxi Liu, Marco Giallini, and Sabrina Ferrelli, as well as Chunyu Shanshan. It is a 2025-26 Italian kung fu action film. And the story basically tells us of a young woman, well, actually early on, a family in China that during the time of 1979 to 2015 were only allowed to have one child. And so if you were caught with two, some sort of penalty would happen. I don't even know if that's based on any kind of real law or anything like that from then. I don't really know if that's something that was actually a historical type of thing, but you have this family who has two sisters, Yun and Mei, very young, and so their dad teaches them martial arts, but they hide away one of the girls, which I believe is Mei. So whenever like the mailman comes by or somebody, a neighbor or whatever, they will hide away Mei and just have the one girl out there. But there's, of course, tension just because the kid wants to be a kid and be out with her sister and do things. So, but they're still very close. But then we get thrown to 1995, or excuse me, to the present day, and we find that Yao Mei, our main protagonist, is basically trying to find her sister. So the sister had left and tried to explore the world, I guess, college, education, whereas Mei didn't really have those advantages because she was always hidden. She couldn't be out in the open with the parents and stuff like that. So her education and knowledge was very limited, but she does have the knowledge of martial arts. So she's in like this brothel and she's fighting through these guys to, basically find her sister who's been taken and now exploited as basically a brothel whore or, call escort or whatever you want to call it. But she finds out that her sister's not there, that she's been moved. And we learned that she had been seeing this Italian guy who runs a restaurant named Alfredo. Now he's married. He's married to the woman on the left there, very beautiful Sabrina Ferrelli. And I think this might be the director next to her. I don't know. But she has a son, Marcelo, who's older, and he works at a restaurant as well. He's a cook. But one day, Alfredo just kind of ups and disappears. And, Lorena is not dealing with it very well. Like, she runs the cashier's thing at the restaurant, runs the restaurant and keeps it going. But she's clearly struggling with the disappearance of her husband, who, she kind of figures it has something to do with another woman, like, just probably past issues with that or whatever. But they also have this other friend of the family, and the guy on the right here, and of course these his two bodyguards, but he kind of is like the showrunner for the Italian mafia. Basically, he's the one that works under Alfredo, but Alfredo's missing, of course. But he also has like a past with Lorena where they may have just been an item for a short while and then nothing happened of it, but he still has like his feelings for her. So you get this sense that he's trying to, work his way back into her life, especially since he has knowledge that Alfredo is involved with Yun, which is May's sister. So we find out that Alfredo, is in love with Yun, a Chinese girl. So, as the story unravels, I'm not going to give way too much spoilers here, but as the story unravels, it turns out that Alfredo had bought a place, like an apartment or whatever, for Yun, and was planning on leaving to be with her, like leave the family, leave the business. And so then that kind of brings in Mr. Wang, who's like this Chinese mafia lord on his end, and he's got his group of guys. His son is like a up and coming rap star, a wannabe rap star, and so that's one of his biggest things. He's like very proud of his son, but his son's not really so much proud of him because he knows what his dad does. But either way, that's like a side plot to everything that's going on. But it turns out that Alfredo was going to sign over the rights to the restaurant to Wang. And I'm not going to give too much more away with that, but clearly, as we find out, both Yun and Alfredo are dead. We do find that out. And so now May, who has to keep trying to track down, figure out where her sister, after she finds out her sister's dead, she goes on the warpath, right? So she's trying to get to Wang and try to get answers for what happened to her sister and why her sister's dead. Now, in the midst of all this, Marcello, who's that mafia son, or not mafia, the Italian's Alfredo's son, he gets mixed up in this too, but he's not a badass. He's not a fighter. He's just a cook. So he gets mixed up with May because she's like busting his balls trying to get to her sister. So, and there's of course, the dialect issue where, the language barrier that they have. So she uses a phone that translates for him and back and forth. So that's kind of how they communicate. And then eventually, they become friendly and then try to help each other find answers. Because once he finds out that his dad's dead, he's looking for Wang too, because everyone, wants to look at Wang, which is not unreasonable. Now, when I saw the trailer for this, I thought to myself, well, it looks cool, but I remember in the trailer it was kind of hiding some of the fighting, like it would be very quick and then it would just go off to another scene. Now, in this, you do get to see some good fighting in this. There's some really good martial arts. It's decent. The plot is very good. I do like the plot a lot. There was a funny moment where I think his name is Annabelle, but I'm not sure. But that's the older guy. That's the mafia head for the Italians, I think, is Annabelle. But he goes into the Mr. Wang's restaurant and he has his two guys with him. And one of the guys sees a portrait of Wang or somebody eating with Bruce Lee. And so the guy says, Bruce Lee eats here? And then, of course, Annabelle's like, you fucking idiot. He's been dead for 50 years. No, he doesn't eat here. But I thought that was kind of a funny line. I really did. But there was a nice, cool moment where Yao Lu playing Yao Mei, she basically has this nice move where she snaps a dude's knee. That's a cool scene I really like in there as far as the fighting. I will say this about the ending. In a lot of ways, it's predictable, but at the same time, like I wish there would have been a twist in it, because for a long time I kept thinking when they were trying to go through the story, I was trying to think of like, oh, I think I know who the killer is. And I'm kind of hoping they go that way, because I thought, wow, that would have been really innovative in the sense that it would have been a nice twist. But they don't. So don't expect a twist ending, really. I mean, there is a little bit of a twist there, a little bit, but not to the degree that I wanted. But it didn't really hurt the film. Like I enjoyed it. I kind of felt like they forced like this romantic thing between Jaume and Marcelo a little bit. I don't know if it's because you didn't really get to see the romance. You saw a little bit of the romance between Jan and Alfredo, but it wasn't quite it, because he was much older than her. But you know, he clearly cared about her. But it was like the whole thing was about him betraying his wife and leaving and all this, because really Lorena was like really a great, strong woman running this restaurant. And you know, again, some of the things I thought in this film that I wanted to see didn't really happen. I just don't want to give any spoilers away. So, but you know, clearly they lead you in the movie to believe that, like, you know, Alfredo really did love Jan before they were killed. So again, it's Jaume and Marcelo trying to unravel the mystery of how they died, and then, like, you know, get revenge basically. And so that's really what it comes down to. But you know, I don't know if I really find this to be one of my favorites of the year. I mean, it's kind of on that cusp, because, you know, the last couple of years getting a top 10 list is very difficult. I did manage to get one last year, just barely. The year before I couldn't get one. So this one, if you know, obviously there's a lot of movies coming out this year that I'll be able to see. I've already got 2 that have made my list, which is good. And they're not ones that I would have expected, you know, when I first thought about 2026. So the fact that I have 2 already, which if you watch us on Friday for Action Film Autopsy, you'll find out those 2 films. But this would be on the cusp. If I had to like fit in a number 10, it just might do it. But right now, really, if I had to rate it, it's about an 8.5. So it's not a bad movie by any means. I just have some issues with some of the pacing and some of the storyline. But and of course, I wish I would have liked a little bit more of mixing it up at the end for a bigger twist that I thought in my mind for what I thought would happen. But either way, like, it's a pretty decent film and worth watching, and probably owning too. It's not really that bad. I think Yaxi Liu did a great job of the fighting techniques and stuff like that. So, and considering it's kind of like born out of like an Italian kung fu movie instead of like a straight Asian one, is pretty interesting concepts as well. So, but let me know in the comments, have you seen it yet? Have you checked it out? Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on a Military Radio Podcast.
You see me before you die.